Hey guys, Melee here with a trinket tier list for you guys. I've been getting a lot of questions about what trinkets to take from Vault, what trinkets are good in M+. This is going to just be a trinket tier list for M+ only. So first, I'm going to pull up the list. In S tier, we have the Antenna, Sack Brood, Stone Idol, and Pacemaker. These are the main four that you are going to want for M+. This, I'll go over in a little bit as far as the Nether Prism. This stuff is okay to use, but eventually you're going to replace it with one of these. So I'm going to go over the sims real quick. The first three I ran was the same thing, just to see if it was consistent. Almost every combination here uses the Astral Antenna as BIS, and this is with, I believe, 15% miss rate selected. So 100% we're gonna lock in the antenna. So I'm just gonna get rid of these three, and we're gonna start here with a locked in antenna. I ran the same sim a couple of times here, these two right here. So if you have an antenna already, the three other trinkets you're going to be looking out for, like I said, Sack Brood, Stone Idol, Pacemaker. These simming very, very close together, very similar. You can use either of these three trinkets and not have to worry about replacing them. I have a Mythic Stone Idol from my vault, but I would probably consider replacing it with one of these just so that I don't have to deal with the 1 second cast time, which I'm sure is very annoying for all of you guys, same as me. So that being said, these are the trinkets. These ones down here, they're still okay, right? It's not an insane difference, but it's enough of a difference to replace them for sure. The Signet, the Arcano Core, the Nether Prism I will go over in the sims. It doesn't really sim accurately. The Ritual Forge, Solea's, they're very similar. So that's why I put them where I put them on the tier list. These four are okay, but you want to replace them eventually. These you just don't really want to use, and this is just what you're looking for. So we'll get rid of these because I kind of already went over those. If you do not have an antenna, that's what this sim is pretty much for. You can still combine any of those S tier trinkets if you don't have an antenna, and that is still going to be best case scenario right there. So that's why I say those four trinkets with any combination here is okay to use. Now you start dropping down when you bring in those other ones. Now this is just an example of a dungeon slice sim. The first few sims that I ran was a dungeon route sim, and this is just dungeon slice, just to kind of show you guys it's not always accurate. For example, it puts Sack Brood here at 8.5%, and then here 7.3%. So I don't typically sim dungeon slice all that much anymore. I always sim with the dungeon route. Now, I won't go over how to sim with the dungeon route sim in this video. This is just for the trinkets. I will make another video on how to sim a dungeon route later. So I'm going to get rid of these dungeon slice ones. I just wanted to show you guys it's not always accurate. But these are the four best trinkets. And I wanted to go over, before I ended the video, with Nether Prism simming on Ret. It's not accurate. So when I tested my Nether Prism, it's heroic. I actually liked using it a lot. I would send it every 2 minutes with my Divine Hammer cooldown, and I would have anywhere from like 11 to 15 stacks every time I used it. It felt good to use, but it sucked when you died, because if you die, you don't have any stacks, which basically means you're just running the dungeon without a trinket. It doesn't give you any stats. So I looked at the sim, the sample ability log, and how it's using the Nether Prism in the sims. It's kind of sending it sporadically. It's sending it sometimes every 1 minute, sometimes 30 seconds. And most of the time it's sending it. It has 2 stacks, 5 stacks, 7 stacks. And when I was using it, I was sending it every 2 minutes, and I would make sure it at least had like 11, or it always had at least 11 stacks every time I did that, unless I died. I don't know how much of a damage difference it's really going to be in the sims, but the way that it's simming is not how I was using it. I thought it was a fun trinket to use. I thought it had promise. I thought it was good to use compared to the stone idol, just because you don't have a 1-second cast time and it is an on-use trinket. It's something that I want to experiment and test with more if I eventually get a mythic Nether Prism. But as it stands, it's probably closer to like lower B tier if you die and lose your stacks. It's very, very bad if you do that. So a lot of people probably aren't going to want to play with it. So this is the tier list. If you guys have any questions about any of these, feel free to ask in Twitch, DM me on Discord, or post in the Discord, or just leave a comment below, and I would be happy to help. I hope this helped you guys, and I hope you have a good day. Peace.